kind of tripped me out. Oh, wait. Hello. Hello. Okay. It's funny.
Are you video recording yourself, Brian?
No. Okay. Can you guys talk?
Check.
Okay.
Alright, let me see that. Okay. Talk.
Check.
Okay. I sound pretty goofy. I'm gonna do that voice.
Hey guys, well, I'm just doing some
This
painting.
is Kyle Jones in my Jesus painting.
Bro, it's incredible. Kyle Jones is, where is he nowadays? That's incredible.
He's doing good.
Is he?
He's doing good. He's like
Oh, yeah, that's good.
10 months sober.
Awesome, dude. He was just drinking, huh? I lived with him for a bit. He was just drinking.
He's not anymore.
Yeah. No, but before it was just drinking, no drugs or
Right.
weird shit.
Shout out to Kyle. But we're not recording yet. Right?
Yeah, we are actually. We
Oh.
pressed it right then.
Shout out Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know why I wanted to paint Kyle?
Yeah, I actually was gonna ask, like, you guys still talk, or was it you talked again after a while and you saw him? Why did you do it?
I would say we talk a little bit every now and then on Facebook. Like, I'll like his thing and make a comment, but that's kind of all it's been since comedy. But
The tripod's out in the living room. It's alright, that's fine.
ever since I met Kyle, I just thought you are the most stereotypically white-looking Jesus possible. Most
Honestly,
American, blue-eyed, not how Jesus looked guy.
Yeah, he's
that I
like
want in my
a
paintings.
modern day Jesus. And how do you decide the scenarios? Like, what did you decide, Jesus first or Kyle first for the painting?
I decided Jesus first.
Yeah, as always, as you should. As you should. Good answer. I'm just kidding.
I wanted to depict Jesus with my dogs after the crucifixion, being the happy Jesus, but after the crucifixion, and he's
Petting a dog.
He's petting my dogs.
That's like an ultimate joy. That's a depiction of joy for sure. Petting a dog.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he just got crucified and he's like, oh, look, a puppy.
Yeah.
That's really incredible, dude.
And yeah, there was something really like cathartic about, cutting up Jesus and putting ketchup on Kyle and my dogs and everything, just knowing that it was fun, that it was gonna wash off, and like.
Do you paint from life?
No, I take photo references.
Okay.
And I do paintings.
So you
from
put
the
ketchup
photo.
on and then took a picture of him?
We went over to this church.
It's an incredible story.
Awesome.
We went over to this church by my house, and we by like the church in the parking lot. It was like he just took off his clothes, and I had like a white sheet and some Hunt's ketchup, and I just started putting ketchup on him.
Like, how'd you squirt it? Like, deliberately? Or did you kind of, like a painting? Like
Yeah, I squirted it, and I was like, "Can you put some on your face and some on your chest?"
Did he have a crown of thorns? I forget.
He does have a crown of
We'll
thorns.
put a picture up of it, hopefully. That'd be cool to edit it. Anyways. He does have a crown of thorns, good. That's awesome.
And so he, we go into this courtyard in this church, and he's sitting on, just in front of a big billboard of Mother Mary and Jesus, which makes no sense because Jesus is sitting in front of a billboard of himself, and he has like shoes and socks on. Like, I wanted to make sure that he looked like I was dressing him up like Jesus. Like, I really don't want people to think that like I have that many like historical anachronisms in my brain. Like I know what he really looked like, and that's sort of the point. Like, and there's an American flag in the back of the painting, and people ask me why that is there, and that's sort of to show that every culture, they make Jesus look their culture.
They made Jesus look like them, a white man or a black man.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's really incredible that you took it even further than just a fun photo reference of a dog depicting joy, like, also adding that aspect of meaning in there. I didn't know your work was so conceptual. I've never talked to you really about it in depth. Are a lot of your, because I know Matthew Cooper, he puts very deliberate items in his, or like you said, an American flag in the background. It's like, wait, why is that there? Why is it so? You didn't put it there on accident.
Mm-hmm.
So is that in a lot of your works? Do you try to do it? Does it come to you?
Yeah. I usually have a lot of symbolism. And
is there any like stream of consciousness where you kind of lose that plan you had? You start with a plan. Clearly, you take photo references, but in the middle of it, do you kind of go, you know what? I'm gonna throw this in there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Is that a big part of it?
Yeah, I definitely think when you're.
It grows from there, huh? You take the first step and it takes you there almost.
Right. It's like I knew I have Kyle. He's the American looking Jesus. And
you got Jesus on your side, dude.
I knew I had my beautiful dogs, and so it was sort of an image that I was really lucky to make happen the way it came out.
What's the interesting thing about intention, like with painting?
Yeah.
Because like if you go take a photograph and you're like setting it up, like you're kind of like pre-planning that setup, but then like taking it into the painting medium. There is room for like almost subconscious, unintentional things in that. But
I totally believe that's sort of what separates all artists. It's like this, like a fingerprint almost. Just all the little subtleties. It's
like you're intentionally making marks. But it's like, I feel like my background is photography, so painting to me has come along later on in life. And there's a freedom in that, in painting. But I've also been kind of, the word intention has been pretty dominant in my mind recently. So that's kind of an interesting place to be, is like just like your process of photography setup to painting, and then Brian's asking about like, is the American flag intentional? Like how can American flag not be intentional in a way? That's like where my brain was going when we were talking about that. Like, but there are marks that are subconscious, and like you were saying, a fingerprint type of thing of your style.
In that painting, a lot of things come out later of when you see it. There's a Mormon artist, Greg Olson, that he depicts Jesus with children and with lambs, and it's just so beautifully American and not Jewish, and just so. I mean that in an ironic way. I mean that in a funny way.
Well, he's Mormon, painting Jesus.
Who looks like a Mormon.
Who looks like a Mormon.
Right, but I grew up Mormon. I grew up around those images of Greg Olson being kind to kids.
Okay.
And so I sort of have that impression in my mind that.
So Greg Olson is a Mormon.
Dude, let me say really quickly, painter. Mormons are not just incredibly kind people, but just, it's really cool to see that.
Actually.
That they honor the family, they honor like, a ritualistic like church. Any religion does the ritual of church, but it's really cool. They have community, they do activities, they encourage kids to like play together, and
well, it's exclusive,
they have weird ideas. It is
my
exclusive,
boyfriend's
you
from
have to do
Ogden,
it.
Utah.
You have to be Mormon,
And he's not Mormon, and he didn't have any friends growing up. And then psychologically, it's like it still affects him.
Well,
Because he
sucks
was
to
like
him because
playing Foursquare.
should've-
He wasn't. They're like, what ward are you from? And he was like, Ward. He tells that
should've-
story a
he
lot.
should've
But
turned,
either
bro.
way,
He
either
should
way.
have turned.
It-
Would have been easier. Just kidding, I'm joking.
Well, and they do actually have pretty high success rate in Utah for the conversion of to
I bet
Mormons.
they
It's
do.
like the highest.
Relationships, you know, if
conversion
someone you
rate.
meet is like Mormon, you're like, hey, if you're my partner, you have to be Mormon. It's interesting, man. Let them be. You know, we have fucking all kinds of culture here. It's weird that it's tax exempt. No, I'm not getting there, but I like the point you like. I had this image of this guy being nice, so I'm gonna portray that because that's what I believe. That's what I heard. Am I correct in saying that, sort of?
Repeat that.
Greg
So.
Olson.
No, I think you're okay. You're.
People get very
That's
angry
rational.
about Christian and like religion. And I'm like, look, you know, I had a good time in a church camp, in a, you know, playing music in the church band. I had good times at the events. You know, I think it's a positive thing. And people are like, oh, that, you know, throughout the years, I'm not playing time cop going throughout the centuries about what Roman Catholics did. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I just like that they have a positive attitude and they have their own way of dealing with it, whether it's fake or not, whether the man in the sky isn't there or not. I think it's beautiful, and I kind of have a sentiment of someone looking out for me. This all means something. It all leads. Like, this is so. My life is just strange, man. It leads me to where I need to go, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where does this end?
Well,
Yeah, I've seen you on a pretty interesting path with your art.
And for you to say that, I'm gonna be honest, I look up to you because you're a prolific artist who's been doing it for a while. And I forgot you're in Vegas on the mic, so basically if I would have remembered that, I wouldn't have held you so high regards. I'm kidding. I'm joking, dude. No, but it's cool that we're from the same little crop of people there. You're right, it's a bunch of hedonistic kids, and now we're like, thank you for saying I'm on an interesting path, because I feel the same way, and you know, I respect your work, man. It's hard to see yourself like that. I don't know if you have this problem, but like, I've had very fucking good success. I was shown in like crazy, amazing places in Las Vegas for my huge work. Sold to interesting clients already. But I'm like, where do I go from here in Las Vegas? I need to help other people do this. I want to see more of this, what I've had. Showing it Inside Style, showing at Berlin Bar, right? That little gallery right next to it. I wanted to share that with other people, because every time I had a show last year, people went, how did you get in here? And I went, well, I just asked. And I'm like, well, I don't think I could ask. And someone brought up white privilege. I'm like, all right, maybe.
Well, Brian, you are good about asking, or kind of like saying, hey, I want to do this. You know, it's not. I don't know if it's you present it as a question. You present it as like, hey, I want this, and some people say yes, and some people say no.
That's a great way to say it, because I do kind of say, look, I have this. That's what a business plan is, though. You know, I'm interested in getting into business because every time I've had the opportunity to make real money, I've fucking lost it, because I have no concept of real money. I don't know what money is, and I'm finally learning. Oh, you can write off on an LLC. I'm like renting in life versus owning being an LLC.
But don't you think maybe your
You get a loan
deficits
for a
in that way
Mhm.
is what makes you so creative in this way, and allows you to make money in a very strange way?
Yeah, I do think that there's like a balance, you know, the brain space to have one or the other. Like Nikola Tesla could have been much more well off than he was, but he was an amazing scientist, experimentation.
But he didn't know about money.
Inventor, but he had no business sense.
And that's what I
So he
want.
sold-
I've been
he
with
sold his
millionaires,
idea.
dude. I rode to London first class, and I'm like, I asked for 10 grand over 3 months.
Nice.
What?
I had
10 grand over 3
a
months?
professor at, I went to school in BYU, Hawaii, which is the
Cool.
Mormon version in the campuses in Hawaii.
That's
And
Interesting.
I had this Samoan painting professor.
Cool.
And like, he was like not educated past like hunter-gatherer up until he was like 18 or 19.
Really?
Right. Like
He
when
grew up with no sense of any societal, the glue, the reading,
his daughter told me when he saw a painting for the first time, he thought it was magic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey,
just rural
wow.
rural Samoa.
Huh. Let's stop there really quick. When he saw it, it was like a relic that fucking stopped him in his tracks, right?
Well, it's almost like that concept of, it's like at the what manifestation, you know, like when you see something for the first time, you have no clue what it is. It's you're not even processing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's almost like it doesn't exist because it's like you don't even know.
Well, I think when I put a abstract painting up, it does something to the room. I don't know what that is, but when people have bare walls, it's kind of weird. When you like adorn your house, whatever it is, with some imagery, some symbolism, some paintings, this helps. But there's also, that being said,
Bob
Ross paintings draining the energy? You know what I mean?
Who?
Like the cheesy,
Ross?
no, not Bob Ross.
Who are you referencing?
No, Ross the store, sorry. They have those bad paintings, like, girl, go get it, hustle and family. Like, wait, why is that in gold? Is that art?
Stock stuff.
Yeah, stock imagery for $30 in a frame. Is that
so
like...
also to pause for a second, Byron, this is how we talk. It's like,
what do you mean?
Tangential.
Oh,
I veered. Sorry about that.
And the podcast is called Look at This.
Okay.
So we're always like,
Look over here.
look at this, look at this. That's just how it
Okay,
rolls.
so you're saying I can interrupt?
Yeah. 1,000,000%.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
So, BYU though, he didn't make it.
The Samoan
sorry,
dude.
I remember where we
I want to hear about the
stopped.
Samoan.
Yes, I do too. I started talking.
Yeah, his philosophy was very interesting because he made a decent amount of money as a professor.
How do you become a professor?
What?
So he wanted to get a master's or something? Like, how did he become a professor?
Yeah, BYU, the Mormon church that my dad taught for, the Mormon school that my dad taught for, they recruited him because he was an LDS painter from Samoa, and they paid for his bachelor's degree, and then they paid for him to get his master's degree in Provo, where I was from, so he could come back and teach at BYU Hawaii and be a professor there.
Cool.
But when he finished his master's degree, and I think this was in the 80s, they didn't have an opening for him. They're like, yeah, we thought he was going to retire, but he didn't. So can you hold on for a couple years? And so he's in Utah, and he goes to like a video game company and like just tells them he knows how to do it, design video games, and he didn't. But he just learned. He just taught himself on the job, and he started making money that way. I just thought that was so cool when people can, like, they're that smart enough, they can just learn shit on the job. You don't need to study, you just go that way. Yeah, and
the
so
confidence to be like,
I've been kind of like that, honestly. Like a lot of these programs I'm learning to use, I'm like, oh, okay, you need to do this. Well, I'll do that somehow. And but some people, it's crazy.
What is the easiest to learn a program if you have a project? I teach software.
Really?
And I believe that, I can't just be like, somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, how do you learn Photoshop? And I'm like, hold up. Like, do you have a project? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
I can teach you that because the programs are so robust. Like After Effects is so robust.
That makes
but it's
a
like
lot
if you
of
have a
sense.
project, you can learn this one thing, and then all the basic tools that go along with that. Once you learn the basics, then it kind of like you can like build this sort of,
Can you teach me Photoshop all the way?
Yes.
From start to finish?
That's hilarious.
I've been using Photoshop since 1996.
Yeah.
Really? That's incredible.
Okay, back to his name's Professor Elisa, Brother Elisa.
Is he out on the internet?
Matt Elisa. What?
Is he on the internet?
Yeah.
So if I can like search him and then.
Matt
Flash
Elisa,
picture.
BYU Hawaii.
Mata Umu is an artist in residence at Brigham Young University. He paints and makes prints. But his chief activity is drawing sketches and from them composing ceramic tile murals.
Taught me the beginning of my art, how to paint. Taught me how to paint.
Cool.
Essentially.
In like a classroom setting, right? Did you end
I'm
up
also
having
gonna put this video that Brian's recording right now on it because
Do you have yours going?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
this is how funny it is. So it's gonna be his face.
Mm-hmm. No, I got this thing, so I can like.
It's hard for him to like sit still. He can
Oh,
never
yeah.
sit still.
You know that. You know.
You know,
No, I
I mean, it's hours at my house just pacing. Like,
Yeah, yeah, dude, you get
how am I
it.
gonna do it?
My man gets it.
Anyways, so I can look him up and then
Yeah.
I'll flash picture of his
Yeah.
paintings. Might be online too.
Yeah, and they're
Cool.
amazing.
Awesome.
I have one.
What are the subjects that he paints?
He just did a mural in the Maui airport,
Cool.
which is the history of all the sailors and pioneers that have landed in Hawaii,
Interesting.
going back to Captain Cook and before Captain Cook.
Interesting.
And it's really big, and it's all tile.
Can I tell you something? When I looked at your work yesterday for the first time, I was like, I made me curious that you had a formal education in painting.
You guessed he did.
That's funny.
Yeah, I did not.
You
I thought it
guessed
was
that.
cool. I thought you were just a guy going at it like me.
And
No,
I,
no,
and I
no,
could
no,
pull
no,
off
no,
those
no, no, no.
paintings.
No, no, no,
I could
not
pull off
use
the.
I
color
didn't
and-
mean anything by that. I know there's a lot that goes into your like mixing. Obviously, you use oils. I didn't mean
I
anything by
don't
that,
use
but
oils.
you don't?
No.
Well, I thought you did.
Yeah, I use acrylic.
Awesome. Well, no,
And
I didn't-
everyone says that what you're saying.
What?
That I thought you used oils.
Yeah, because
I use acrylic.
that's awesome.
I just stopped using oils and no one noticed. I
Yeah.
used
I
used
think
to
you
use
told me
all
that
oils.
before. Yeah.
used to use all oils, and then I did acrylic and just topped it off with a layer of oils. Then
Yeah.
I just stopped doing that top layer, and no one noticed.
Save your
Yeah.
brain, all those chemicals. Yeah.
You're 100% right. It was the chemicals, and it was just the mess of it.
I was
Yeah.
in what's her name?
Dina Casala.
Dina's studio for a day, and I could tell. I was like, I had to step out for a second, and she didn't even notice it anymore. That's
She's wild.
oil painting is intense.
She wild.
Yeah, it's
How do you feel about me knowing that, or assuming that you had a formal education in painting, just by looking at your work? Because you go abstract, but you also have like very photographic, realistic looking painting.
Well, I appreciate that because a lot of money went in to my education. I had to work really hard in school. I think you can be I don't know the right word, but you can become unsatisfied with an art education if it doesn't lead to a career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that was more important to me, is if it could lead into a career. And so I knew that if I could sort of get to the point where I could technically do portraits, there wouldn't really be like there's
And kind of work for yourself a little bit if you do.
there's always a
portraits well
need
enough.
for someone to do portraits
Yeah.
that are photographic or whatever, realism.
It's a
You-
skill.
Right, it's the
Maybe historical. It could be a lot of things. Court. You know what I mean?
right. I feel like if anything, I just have this skill. Even if you take away the creativity, like I could do something less creative with this skill. But it is a skill that I paid to learn, and it took me a long time. And I was lucky in the professors that I had. And it was one by one, and I can name like 4 of them that were just super influential in my career, where they just said a couple things that made all the difference. Like
Like what did they say?
Exactly.
We're
Like
gonna learn
and
right now,
continue, Byron, really quickly, it relates. Can I ask you, did you plan? You're like, I spent a lot of money learning this skill, and did you like know you were gonna try to pursue painting before you went into school? When did it happen? Just quickly, if I could.
I wanted to do something creative, and I knew that I was sort of at like an amateurish level at like dancing and art and even like stand-up comedy type of I mean most of my growing up in high school and stuff, I was hanging out and playing sports and stuff like that.
Weird. You know what I mean? That's a turnaround.
Sports.
Were you doing painting when you were doing comedy when I knew you?
Yeah, I was always creating and making art, but I was never. I was always getting like second place or honorable mention, or you know,
Really?
or like you don't place anything. I did win an art contest once in Utah, where it was you vote out of these unnamed paintings.
Yeah, it's anonymous.
Yeah, and I was the only one that entered any of the paintings in the whole contest. So people were just voting on all 4 of them, you know, and I was gonna win no matter what.
Were they all different styles?
I mean, no. I mean, it was just, they were just sketches, but they actually turned one of them, the one that won, into a postcard, and I got like 4 free passes to Cece's Pizza. So postcard and Cece's, it was awesome.
Cece's Pizza is actually.
So back to your professors. Can you name 1 or 2 phrases that you've learned that stick in your head?
Stop.
Stop.
That's the most important. I can't remember her name, but she was a professor I had, and I was probably about 2 hours into a 6-hour painting, and she told me to stop. And I was
6 hours into a 2 hour.
No, I was 2 hours into a 6-hour painting.
Got you.
How do you judge if it's a 6-hour painting?
I just know basically how many layers I'm gonna do, and I know how long that's gonna take me, but so it was so impressionistic compared to my other stuff, and it was so hard for me to do that, but that became my best painting that I had ever painted, and it probably remained my best painting for many years. And so I recently did a painting where I knew that just a couple more strokes, you know, wouldn't mess it up, and it became a game of just when should I stop, you know, and just stop. And
I have a shed full of those. I'm like, no, I'm gonna change it right here and then allow it, and then it doesn't, and then I'm like, oh, I actually hate that. I try to like spontaneously create a new, okay, it's boring, here you go, and then I kind of ruin it.
So when you get that initial word in your head, do you stop immediately sometimes? So like, you know, you're just painting along and all of a sudden you think, I should stop. Do you stop at that point?
if I'm lucky,
If the painting's lucky.
I'll usually,
Is that a willpower to stop?
what?
Is it a willpower to stop? Like, just like, oh, I had that thought, drop the paintbrush. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool to think about, like,
It's like
the
addiction.
immediacy of having that thought. Is it ever at that moment that you stop?
Yeah.
That's taking the advice of your professor. What were some of the other ones? Stop, I hear that all the time though, with abstract especially.
Abex.
Abex, yeah.
Right, that's important.
It is.
It's so easy. Sometimes it takes like 5 minutes to make an Abex painting.
Yeah. And then you overdo it when you... but yeah.
My friend, Jesse Draper, he's like my age. I took private lessons from him. He was a prodigy ever since he was a little kid, and he's a friend of mine. And he taught me a lot of oil painting, to paint portraits, oil. And once I was able to sort of get good at painting portraits, which I think are the hardest things to paint accurately,
Amazing.
my my technical skill level went up. So I want to, you know, have people look at his work, and it's really
What's his name again?
Jesse Draper.
Jesse Draper.
And is he very technical?
I'll
you're
look him
saying?
up.
He's super technical.
Is he portraits? Does he do?
He's oil portraits.
Awesome.
He's just, you know,
That's cool.
classical
Does he live
oil
out here?
paints.
No.
Yeah, what town does he live in?
He lives in Utah, where I'm from.
So if I Google search Jesse Draper, Utah painter, I can find him.
You'd see some really damn good.
I'll look him
Painting.
up.
Yeah, so he was a big influence, and you know, all these people are kind of like, you know, classical, and so I had to sort of develop my skills and become technically good.
You've still kept that raw aesthetic though. Somehow those kind of contrasts, you know, a technical approach, a proper approach from painting school, and your raw element, I feel like that's why I like your art. Because
Thank
that
you.
clash, you know, because yeah, you can tell there's technicality. Sorry to interrupt,
But you
but yeah.
stop.
Yeah, I guess you stop because there is that rawness that a lot of people ask me, how do you paint like that? So they paint like a child. I'm like, I wish I could tell you. I just turn my brain on. I don't know what I do to paint, but people are jealous of the ability to be free like that. But it's also good to have the reins on it too. That's why you went to school, is like to learn the rules so you know how to bend them.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's good that you said that. Where you learn how to bend them.
Oh, that's
It's
so
like-
break.
It's like when you're back, you know, making art and you're making a painting. Nobody's gonna give you, you know, fucking C on your painting.
I
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
No one's gonna
You
give
know,
you a D for
It kind of hurt
tracing.
me to hear you say, you know, yeah, I got second place, I got this. I'm like, dude, it shouldn't be a competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Well, I mean,
sucks.
it's
Like
all
Battle of the
subjective.
Bands. I was in the music for a long time, you know that. And it was always, oh, Battle of the Bands, who can sell the most tickets? It's like, I don't know, when I play a song, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about, it makes me feel good. Hopefully other people feel the same way or have their own version of the same sentiment that I'm feeling. And that's what it's about, not fucking tickets to House of Blues and drink tickets. And
Well, it almost
Yeah.
goes in line with like my issue with.
we're in Las Vegas.
I went
though.
to the residency I did with Nancy Good recently at Core Contemporary was basically influenced by quantum physics. So it wasn't that approachable. I sold
Yeah.
some work, but nothing came of it. You know, like I didn't get any other shows, whatever. You know, which is not like not like a tangible goal, but like a hopeful goal of like, hey, my name is Michelle Graves. I'm like new to Las Vegas and I make art. So you know, so I think that just like that the challenge or the competition side of it is like, you know, it's like it's kind of like, okay, I'm making a painting to make money. Does that influence what the painting is?
Yes, it does,
Here in
because
Las
I've had
Vegas,
6
I'm
months.
starting to draw flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, F you, flower. No, man, it's hard because, you
But
know,
it-
just to comment on that, it's like, yeah, paint a culture for dollars. Like, you start pretzeling yourself to make these people like you.
Or
You know,
even like
I
Who
just-
even are
I
these
just
people?
feel like someone
it's supposed to be
is
personal.
gonna see the right painting. I mean, and this does happen sometimes.
Yes.
Where they're drunk, they just won megabucks, they have a couple $1,000s, they don't really know how to manage money, and they
20K.
see Las Vegas is a lot different than Utah when you're marketing your art.
in
in
Chicago, too.
In Utah, the Mormon church has a monopoly on the wall space. It comes from a Puritan background where art like mine is not really common. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little bit too off fringe. It's fringe, a little bit.
Art in general, if it has nothing to do with Jesus or Joseph Smith,
Well,
Or
put the
like-
Kyle in there.
craft.
Kyle Christ. Sorry, dude. Go
right. But
here you go.
But Utah artists are amazing because they like the pioneer crop, they have that sort of
They're keeping the legend going.
mystical 19th century American, or is it 18th century? Joseph Smith's 1800s, Joseph Smith's, Puritan religion. And
It's like a mystical ideology.
Right, with all this
This magical, like
planets and gods, and so the Mormons have all these.
It's very abstract.
Yeah, all these beautiful.
It's kind of like your paintings. You fill in the lines.
Like
They give you the
iconography.
things, and you fill in the lines with your imagination.
Right. So they have all that, and then there's a reverence to art in BYU. It's like when you look at art, everyone's quiet and everyone's
They respect
bowing
it.
their head. Yeah, it's almost.
That's what I noticed in the Tate Modern, like people were taking the art, and in Vegas, it's just kind of like you walk by it. There's not a lot of appreciation. We don't see that a lot in this town, in my opinion. I haven't seen it a lot. When people taking art, it's very rush and go. Even First Friday, they're walking by, they might stop. If they do, I don't know, man. I'm just commenting. I don't feel like we have a fine arts gallery.
I feel like just everyone just has too many bills. Do you know what
Yes.
I mean? Everyone
No one
has
can afford it.
everyone has to sort of, they have their 2 hours like on the weekend, and they get to have fun, but it's not. I just heard that like art is one of the first things that people cut out when there's like a recession.
Education.
budget,
Yeah.
budget cuts.
Right.
It is. And that's
Which is
devastating.
Yeah, and I understand why, but it's like the people buying art are just like the people making art. They have to work. They have their fun on the weekend, and then probably can't afford to buy a painting this weekend, but they have to fucking work. You know what I mean? It's like
We've talked about
is
that
like
before.
the one what?
Work.
Work.
I'm like, I
yeah.
don't have. I got.
Oh, I
why? You
can't,
know why you
my-
don't have time? Because I have to work. I
My
have to
job
go to work.
needs me. I was making fun
like
of
I
it
have to
before.
leave at 3 today.
Now
and
my
I don't have
job
time
needs me because
to
I
go to
got a
work.
job again. It does,
Insane.
dude. I had a year last year, and I had a ridiculous year. That's all I'm gonna say about it right now. But yeah,
proud of you.
thanks, man. But that being said, it was all patronage. Somebody went out of their way. They had the money, and they went, you know what? You have a plan, you have a vision. I'm gonna help you reach that vision. I'm gonna inform you. They saw I was uneducated, so they kind of took me to the Broad Museum. They took me to the Biennale in fucking Italy. Jesus Christ, man, the first one after coronavirus. It was a big deal, and now I came back, and my mind is still just like shattered because I learned so much. And I saw myself out there. That's what it was. It's weird. I feel so alienated out here because I'm not doing palm trees. I'm not dissonant. I'm just saying I'm a different guy. You can see it in my works. And I went out there and I was a dime a dozen. Everybody was an abstractist or improvisational, a sound artist. It was kind of cool. Berlin especially.
I don't want to like diss abstract expressionism because it's my favorite type of art, but I don't really do it except for fun.
That's what it is for me too.
Right. I mean, what I mean is I
The
concentrate
title.
on my sort of style, but the reason I do that is I feel like because I feel like I could be a pretty good abstract expressionist artist.
I feel
if
like you
wanted
like the
to.
technicality. You can measure steps with your particular thing, and you can still bend it a little bit. But I feel like
All you need to do
ABX is very
Stop
loose.
after like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, I guess.
ABX is for
It's that
people
easy.
that
Yeah.
cannot contain that shit. I don't know. You have your own version of getting it out, but for me, it's stream of consciousness just falls out of my fucking head. I can't help it, and I've become pretty decent at it, I guess. I
agree.
have fun with it though. The more fun I have, the better it is.
I agree, and I think that there's I mean, I think that might be the biggest stage, or one of the biggest stages. I don't know if I'll really be accepted in the contemporary abstract sort of world because my stuff is so classical. I was just trained so classically. But I feel like if I were to go that direction, I would enter into a really large pool. And right now,
Yes.
I'm in a smaller pool.
People are moving here.
I'm in a smaller
Okay.
pool because I'm very niche in what I like to paint.
But you can have more than one body of work. You know, like you can be known for
I'm not
a certain
interested in
style, but have another body of work that is still you.
It's funny, I think
Yeah.
you do the paintings for you. Not necessarily, you like sharing them, you like selling them, you like getting work, but I think, I don't want to make another body of work that's lighter because, man, I don't want to do that.
Well, and also, you know,
that's just me being.
putting a label on artwork has always been sort of
Yeah.
like not an issue for me, but something that I've never liked because I don't want to limit myself to any one medium or any one subject.
Yeah.
I have a train of thought, but it's like
It's
I
fun
need to use a
express.
medium that is gonna pair with what I'm trying to convey.
Uh-huh.
So like Abex, you know, when he said Abex, I was like, what the fuck is Abex?
Yeah.
The abstract expressionist, but it's like you put yourself in that. The labels are only for other people.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I've been
and
called
and
that, so I said, Dina Kashaba told me about that.
But I also think that artists that become more known have a specific
Niche.
style.
That's why I talked to you about a book, man. I've seen your work for a while now, and I'm like, this is. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. It's great. It's like worth documenting. I'm serious. There's so many of them. There's so fucking many that you have, and it's so unique. I'd love to see a layout of it, and that's why I was like, well, maybe we could think of something, because I saw your Instagram. I looked you up on Google. I don't care. You're painting, but if you want to, you just kind of expressed in the last few minutes, like, I might not be accepted. Well, out there, you would be a dime a dozen also. You'd be in a larger pool of people that do the same shit. But
But they're
it gets
making.
you.
It's not.
What?
You're making. It's not that. It's
Mhm.
not that.
And you can go to LA or
It shouldn't
try other
inhibit
places.
you from or be deterring from you of making, even if it's not your classic style.
Dude, I've shown on Main Street in Charleston. I've shown, I've done it. I haven't reached Cecilia. I'm not the best ever. But for me, I'm like, where do I show now? Not that, I'm too good, but those happen almost by accident. I'm just a normal ass guy. Where do I go from here? I go out of state. That's my answer.
Well, it's also the question of like
I have to.
what one finds as success.
Yes, that too. But I'd like to see other cultures. Now that I have, I want to see more of that. I want to go to New York because that looks like Berlin to me. With all the trains, all the tracks, all the old bricks. That's so cool.
Have you heard of Vegas? Fuck it, I can't remember.
That's all good.
What's it about?
If I could remember it, they let artists have raw artists.
Yeah, I actually did the music showcase
Okay.
when I first started music. Wax Pig.
Yeah, they have shows in New York City.
What? Aren't they from here?
Yeah, but they also put on shows in New York City and Los Angeles.
Have you ever done that with them?
I
think I-
did
no,
an art show here with them.
I did see that.
But you're allowed to do anyone after that for free, as long as you do the first show.
Wow.
Is it a pay to play thing for the first round? Is that what you're saying?
What?
A pay to play, like you have to pay. You said it's free.
Yeah,
after.
the first one you have to get like 10 people to pay $20 to come see you.
Okay. Yeah, it's like pay to sell tickets.
Yeah. It's like
Well, that's fine. It
Like
gets
a-
you in there.
I think I
That's
know
one round.
10 people here in Las Vegas.
Well, you got it.
so I would just go on Tinder or Grindr and just be like, did you guys like art?
Hey, you look I like your house. I don't see any paintings though. You're like talking about everything else but the dick pic. Grindr's not bad. A lot of A lot of gay guys love art and love, you know, I don't know, buying it.
Yeah, I like stereotypes that are good. Gay guys like art.
Gay guys love art, dude. It's so gay. In a way, it's gay love for art. I don't even know what I'm saying. Jesus Christ.
Should we edit that out?
I have had a lot of people, though. No, I have like 4 different, I don't call them collectors, but they're friends now. But yeah, they're like, oh my God, your work. And I become good friends with them, is the
You
point.
got invited to a pool party.
Huh?
You got invited to a pool party.
Oh no, that's not the gay guy. That's
Oh.
the executive.
Well,
The
same
guy.
patrons, right?
No, this guy just went from Oregon, so he's more in the real estate thing. I know people in real estate. This woman, Polly, she's been amazing, and she just appreciates art. She's from LA. She's like, oh my God. She keeps telling me, you need to go to LA or New York. You have no idea. And I'm like, thank you, but can't move to New York right away. My point is, like, I forgot the original one, but I just need to go somewhere else with the artwork. You know, my friends and
Do you think
family
you
been
need to
selling tickets.
leave Las Vegas?
I don't need to move, but I need to show somewhere else. I do think that. I need to go meet someone else in another place and like recreate a relationship and just kind of try to show in other places.
A romantic relationship?
No. A relationship with an artist
With an art
that's out
gallery?
of town. Yeah, with a gallery that has like opportunities. Maybe I could, you know, we could trade. I could give you a show here. You could, if I get a show there. You know, just say, put it on the CV. Oh, I've done New York, you know.
Yeah.
It just looks good. And people out there, you look on Instagram, wild abstract stuff is in New York. I'm like, is this like, it's childish and huge. And I love it because it's what I do. And I'm like, it's so crazy to see, it's almost like representation. Like, I get it now. I'm like, holy shit, there is people out there showing in really, really dignified spaces with raw art that's really, really just bleeds authenticity, you know, and rough side of it.
Yeah, I feel I'm struggling a little bit. I moved here from Chicago. I was in Chicago for 16 years, and it is a struggle here to like.
Chirac. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I do feel going to First Friday. It's like I feel like I see the same artwork, and seeing your work was kind of a breath of fresh air because it's not,
Seriously.
you know, it's not a portrait with like high gloss, you know, like resin finish with sparkles in it.
Yeah.
You know, like splatter paint.
But it was very
Which is all
dense.
good. There's a place for that. You know, those types of paintings are selling in like that high-end galleries in the casinos and stuff.
They love shiny.
Shiny, happy people.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's like where, I don't know, like it's, you know, even like you were saying about your abstract work that you don't know if there's a place for whatever you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's got, you know, is there a place for any artwork that's like not the school of thought of the town that you're in, you know?
I think it's just important overall. One day, this everything we've done is gonna matter. You know what I mean? Whether you made that piece or not, whether you destroyed it or not, whether it still exists, it's over the course of a lifetime having those things still. You're like, wow, this is where I came from. Even if it doesn't sell or nobody appreciates it, it's good to have these things because you can see where you were. And other people might find inspiration from that story arc. You never know what's going to happen. And it could mean a lot, and you didn't know at the time. But in the future, you look back, wow, that's crazy that I have this going
And it
on.
does give one
You know?
a sense of purpose.
That's the art, really, is like the lifetime. That's why you're supposed to struggle, is because, yeah, you kind of are. And that informs you for when you get your shit together. I don't know. Life's fucked up. That's what makes me believe in it. I mean,
there's nothing that says you shouldn't struggle, or there's nothing that says things are gonna work out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Well, they will work out. Not how we planned. Not how we fucking planned them.
Right. But.
Are you religious at all in any
outcome.
way? Do you believe in higher power? Sorry, just to preface this before we get into that.
I don't know. Ask the question differently.
Do you believe in do you ever pray?
Are you spiritual?
No.
Okay, all right. Just asking.
I will occasionally return to some sort of Mormon habit and pretend that the solace that I felt, just try to recreate that from a Mormon prayer. But
Yeah, you say a prayer.
part of me having sanity and being able to live each day being sane is not believing in something that I don't believe in. To just be honest with myself.
Yeah.
And
you still have that side and be honest. Like, I don't feel that. I gotta be honest. That's really kind of freeing.
I had so much pressure from girls and from religion and from family where it's like it took me to the brink of insanity to pass that, and where it's like, okay, you really want me, you're gonna put this much pressure on me to believe in this.
Yeah.
And when it's not true,
uncomfortable.
When it's not true, then your brain gets squashed.
Yeah.
And so,
damn, dude, that's a good way to put it. It fucks up your whole worldview. You're like, what do you mean? Is anything real because you're making me believe this? It's like, I don't know. I understand what you meant. It does break your brain.
Right. So it is for me to function is for me to be like, okay, I've been here. This world is kind of scary, but I kind of know what's here. There aren't any angel Moronis that I can see.
Not yet.
There aren't any gold books that disappear on this earth. I don't know why I was taught to believe that there were, but there aren't.
It is a strange story.
And so for me to commit to these things,
it's nice that you're not angry about it, or you're not explaining it in an angry way. I'm sure you've been mad at it. You know, like, look, I'm not going to do it. That's a boundary. It's nice to hear it in that framework, not fuck those guys. It's not true. I'd like you explaining it in such a calm, rational way.
I think Mormonism is one of the most fascinating American phenomenons.
Yeah.
It came from one of the most fascinating charlatans, like one of the strangest brains. Joseph Smith was able to create this church, and it still survives. And Joseph Smith was not. Joseph Smith was not a moral person at all, and but he basically spawned millions of moral people. You don't want people that'll fucking murder you.
You're right, dude.
You want Mormons. You want people that won't steal.
Community. You want a positive, healthy community, ideally, and they're creating that. You're right. He has spawned people with morals. People that, I mean, truly, it's almost like they did grow up in a cult. I'm not saying it's a cult. I'm just saying, you see these people, they're like, I just want to watch a movie. I want to go to the movies and have a burger afterwards and get a shake and just go home and hang out with my family because I'm going to go hang out in church afterwards and we're going to go to dinner with so-and-so. They have a normal life. They I don't know, I like their approach to things. They got something. They got something going.
You look like a Mormon.
I do?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm not Mormon. I was a Southern Baptist.
Oh, well,
yeah. A really nice Mormon guy put his teeth in me.
You have that friendly, boyish quality look.
Thanks, man.
You're not like me, where you just.
Like you.
This is a true story. You know the band, the Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
They, I know the director of their music videos. He directs Matt Easton. He directs all their music videos.
Nice.
And him and the set designer Corey Fox, they wanted me to be in one of their latest music videos. I'm actually in it, but they needed a person that looked between Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro, Taxi Driver, and Charlie Sheen, Ferris Bueller Day Off.
Oh wow!
They needed somebody that looked like they were gonna blow up something to be in this.
I can see
like
it.
they called me like, hey, we need you to be in here because you look crazy.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I like that.
you're gonna
though.
pay me for that? That's cool. So
Have you done acting before that?
You can watch it. It's pretty funny.
Dude, I've been loving screenplay as a new
Dragons, okay.
medium.
What
Oh.
song is that?
Imagine Dragons song Cutthroat.
Cutthroat. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'll look it up.
I don't know.
I'll edit it in the.
No, the thing is when I was doing comedy and stuff, I probably would have wanted to try to do stuff like that, be on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
In fact, like I even told this guy who was kind of like this entrepreneur dude that wanted to help me out with my comedy. I was like, he's like, in 5 years, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to be on TV. I want to be on like national TV, like,
Nice.
but not just like. And
Just
he's like,
some
and he
bullshit.
told me like all like there's reverse engineering of how to like I was gonna get my goal in 5 years, you know, and what I needed to do and who I needed to talk to and stuff, and I didn't do any of it. But 5 years later, exactly. 5 years later, exactly, they called me and they're like, "Hey, we want you to be in this music video."
That's fun. Yeah, dude. You know what? I met an
That music
artist
video
in
was
Germany.
playing in Town Square on the big Megatron thing. And it was.
I love you, Byron.
It was so funny.
Dude, it's so funny that I knew you in Vegas on the mic. I can't believe it. It's just funny, man. And
Is there footage of you
so,
online from
Huh?
Vegas, whatever that was?
Vegas on the mic
Is it
was
on- is it archived?
yeah, it's gone. It was an open mic scene, and everyone in it was pretty fucking solid, and they all did their own little things.
Is it archived?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. You can look
Can
it up.
you play it a bit?
No, I can't. I can put it
It's-
on in post.
It's their
we're at
content.
56
Oh,
minutes
do you
right now.
have comedy on there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd love to do that. All right, hold on. That changes everything.
We're at 56 minutes right now too.
Okay.
It's only a
Our-
3-minute comedy clip that you should play
Our
because
things
it's,
are about an
it's
hour
dubbed
long.
out.
Okay.
All the cursing is dubbed out, which is perfect because I actually think you can do dubbing in a way that's funnier than this curse words.
Yeah.
And I think I probably would have done better in comedy if I cursed much less. But if you come
Do you listen to comedy
from
nowadays?
Utah, sometimes. If you come from Utah,
Welcome to the stage, Byron Stout. Give a hand, buddy.
not that one.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Go back and then it's probably the next one down.
Stout.
Because the next one is actually like Byron Stout Vegas on the mic. One that actually Mike produced. Go
This
down,
one?
go down, go down, go down. Where is it? Maybe they took it there. It is. Go down.
This one?
No. Down.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
One time I saw this guy, he had a shirt.
That said, fish are friends, not food. Go vegan! Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have any fish for friends. And if I did, I don't think they'd be a very good friend, you know? Like if I'm having a hard time in life, I'm about to shoot myself in the head. Like, come on, try to stop me, fish! Come on! I'm gonna do it! Try to stop me! Been looking for a job recently, and my friend offered me a job landscaping for minimum wage. I told him, you know what, I'd rather and then I did. So anyway, I start my new job landscaping next week. I know I just said I but it's not true. I mean, it's fine if you do, it's great. But I didn't, and I wouldn't. Like, even if it was the right, like, let's say some famous booking agent, and like, if I get my own show on the Strip. I don't think I would do it just because I'm like not that confident in my act. Like I go and I and then I bomb, I get fired. I'm like, Wish I wouldn't have fucked that old guy's This is great. I have a hard time picking up on women. My friend, he says it's because I'm too nice. He's like, yeah, man, nice guys finish last. Girls, they like jerks. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, right? But I'll try it anyway, you know? So I went up to this girl at a bar, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing? She's like, pretty good, how are you? And I was like, well, I was doing all right until I got a look at your busted f***ing face. So she starts making out with me, right? That's actually totally not true. I don't have any problems with women. Sometimes girls I don't even know come up and talk to me. Like just the other day, this girl, I didn't even know her. She came right up and started speaking to me. She's like, hey, welcome to Walmart. I'm like, get the f*** out of my way, you old So she starts making out with me, right?
Good shit. Those returns are like good devices.
So that was probably, that video was probably, I traded like 6 or 7 quality years of learning art to get that far in comedy.
Yeah.
Because I was so dedicated to that lifestyle for probably about 5 or 6 years that my painting suffered a lot.
Oh,
Are we recording?
Yeah, we are. Did you take?
Brian, we're like an hour in. FYI.
Okay.
FYI.
Let's end it on this. Your comedy, why did you stop it? Did it not pan out the way you wanted?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think.
Or is art more important?
I think it was really impossible to try to do both. Maybe it's not impossible for both people, but first, most people do that. But it became apparent that I was much better painting than a stand-up comedy, and I couldn't do long enough sets that I could become a headliner.
You tried 5 years, you never got you never had the confidence. What was that?
I was never able to build enough material to become a headliner. I could only.
You were doing pretty good right there. You know, you kind of had a flow. You almost had a compact
That was 3 minutes.
special.
It's not hard to do 3 minutes.
No, I know 3 minutes is not hard, but you did it very well. And
Thank
some
you.
people can't do it, right? But yeah, you're right. 20 minutes, fucking hard. An hour.
Or you can just come on the podcast and.
I was gonna say, dude, I like
be on
chatting
the
with you.
microphone.
I know I caught you off guard, but I think it'd be fun. And if you don't care, you brought it up, so.
I did bring it up to record
Yeah.
you.
Dude, we've been trying to do
That was
this
the
show,
whole
and it
purpose the whole
keeps kind of like connecting and not. We're only on our 5th episode, but it's so new that I don't know. I'd love if you came over and do this more,
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
I don't
come
mind.
on over and talk whenever, you know.
because you might help balance me out, and I'm trying to listen more and not interrupt. I really am. It doesn't matter.
How long
but
have you guys been doing the podcast?
Well, we started it, I think,
August.
last August, and
Maybe
then
1 a month.
1 month, and then
Travels, holidays, life.
Yeah.
Now we're back. This is our first thing back. It just
well,
happened.
we had one
Okay.
in December.
Yeah.
That was in the middle of when I was doing that residency,
Mhm.
so it was me like venting basically.
Yeah.
But you sat still the entire time that one.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
believe that. He has a hard time sitting still, which I think is funny.
Yeah, man. I think it'd be cool, and I like your. I don't know. It's just fun talking with people.
I mean,
It's gnarly. I'm 8 minutes away.
Yeah, it is crazy, and I ran into you. I was with Shaylee that first Friday, and I'm like, no, I don't want to walk across the street to get recycled. I don't know. And then all of a sudden we went, and then wait, yeah, you were in the back. Remember?
well, you were at First Friday.
Yeah.
I was at First Friday. I should have texted you.
Here,
Oh,
you
yeah,
sit
we
down.
went really early.
Sit down for a second.
Me?
Yeah, I need to.
What?
You're up front. No, I need to get
Like
water.
a smoke.
We're
Oh.
recording still.
Put on the spot. Yeah, you went to. We went from like 6. So we left at like 7:45.
Oh, okay. I showed up at like 9:30.
I know we're so old. We wake up at like 5, so we go to bed
So
so
early,
early.
Early.
Yeah, it was funny though. He wasn't gonna go across the street, and I was like, "We're gonna fucking go. I paid for parking. We're here."
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool. And then he ran into like 4 people he knew.
Nice.
It's funny.
I was gonna go with my roommate downtown today, and then I realized you have to pay to park, and so I just didn't go.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
Sundays are free, aren't they?
Are they still free on Sundays?
Where
don't
were
know.
you going?
Downtown. My
Downtown.
friend
Oh.
wanted to go gamble.
Downtown.
Yeah.
It
Like Fremont
depends.
Street. Is
Oh,
there
Fremont.
anywhere to park now for free?
Like
I think
barely.
I think
Or-
on Sundays. I don't know.
is it?
There's easy parking over on. I feel like Sundays. I don't know though. I don't know. They might have changed it.